Well, there is a group working to help and grow minority-owned businesses in the Northern California area. And here to tell us more is Cecil Plummer. He is president and CEO of the Western Regional Minority Supplier Development Council. And Denise Lombard, she is director of Supplier Diversity at Cisco Systems. Welcome to Bay Area Focus, both of you.
Good morning.
Great to be here. All right. Yeah, it's great to have you. Okay, so first, before we get started, let's go over what supplier diversity and supplier inclusion is.
Wow, those are full of jargon, right? And we don't want to do that. The bottom line, Michelle, is big companies and big organizations have to buy a lot of products and services to run their businesses. And what supplier diversity and inclusion means is just to cast a wider net. So instead of going down the street to the nearest large provider or big box store, to reach into our communities and get minority-owned small businesses to participate in their sourcing opportunities.
So you're getting out and you're looking at these minority-owned businesses to come on to and be a part of, we'll call it WRMSDC.
Yeah, you have to sing it sometimes to make it like it's like a radio jingle. WRMSDC.
I'll never forget
so that'll
it
help
now.
you.
It's a song. But no, the minority-owned businesses, you have a list of them, basically.
Yes, we have a database of minority-owned businesses that we've certified that they're 51% at least owned and operated by a person of color.
And Denise, you're with Cisco.
Right. So I utilize WRMSDC to feed me a pipeline of qualified minority-owned businesses that we can put up for opportunities that come at Cisco.
Why is this inclusion? Why is it so important?
Well, it's so important because most people in this country work for firms that have 500 or less employees. So think about that. Most people work for small businesses. So if we really want to address things like income disparities, access to health care, housing costs, higher education, people get money from their jobs for that, and most people get their money from firms that are smaller than 500 employees.
So there really is an economic impact, but also a social impact as well.
Economic, social, the corporation, better bottom line, higher revenue, diversity drives innovation. So, you know, my boss often says, what's good for the world is good for business.
Coming from the corporate side of it, that's what, and a lot of corporations, are you seeing more and more corporations, big ones like Cisco, embracing this?
We are. We're slowly seeing growth here in the Bay Area. Supplier diversity started on the eastern side of the United States and is slowly working its way west. We're lucky.
You would think California is so diverse.
You would think, but that's where supplier diversity, I think, is the best kept secret in the United States. Again, the federal government, state governments, most of their revenue come from income and payroll taxes. Where do most people work? And I think it's counterintuitive because in California, you look around and you see people from all over the globe, right? But when you really look at the numbers and look at what's happening in the Native American community, what's happening in the African American community, what's happening in the Hispanic community, and the numbers aren't there. So we have to do a lot of work to do to bring equity and parity into this area.
What about the diverse entrepreneurs? Why should they be a part of this and also support other organizations?
Well, I tell you, a few minutes ago we heard you become who you hang out with, right? We have thousands of very robust, very qualified businesses, and we offer them all kinds of support and education, and most importantly, access. You can't do business with people you don't know. And so by having an organization that's supported by organizations like Union Bank, Kaiser Permanente, Cisco, you have an opportunity.
Role, right,
yes.
And he's a matchmaker for us and these minority-owned businesses, which is great.
And that way you can start to develop the relationships so that you can get these opportunities to do business.
And why is it so hard for minority businesses? Why is it so hard for them to get that kind of attention without the WRMSDC?
Wow, that is a loaded question, and we could go on for hours about that. I think the biggest thing is people are creatures of habit, right? So it's very easy to go to the same supplier that I've used over and over and over again. And unfortunately, a lot of underserved communities haven't had that opportunity to mix, right, and get to develop those relationships with people from other communities. So that's why the council plays a critical role of bringing people together to find out there are lots of very talented, very qualified business owners out there that for whatever reasons you just haven't had the opportunity to come across.
Denise, and I like what your boss said, you know, you have to be a part of the world. So if you're not a diverse business owner or person, why is supplier diversity, why is that so important?
If
to
you're
that
not,
person.
oh, to that person. Well, I tell you, there's
yeah.
so much data out there. Like I tell you, especially if you own stock in a publicly traded company, yeah, they ought to be out there with torches and pitchforks saying, "Give me my diversity," because groups, we love our experts, right, in this country. So Ernst & Young, Baker McKinsey, Dun & Bradstreet, Hackett Group, all these people have well documented, MIT, I like to throw that one out there, have documented Companies that have inclusive supply chain practices get better innovation, better satisfaction, better cost savings.
Increased revenue.
Increased revenue. The documents.
Better talent.
Better. It's all there.
Well, Cecil and Denise, thank you so much for coming on the show and telling us all about this.
Thank you.
And be sure to check out the Western Regional Minority Supplier Development Council's website. It is at WRMSDC.org. Coming up, Destiny Arts when Bay Area Focus returns in just a moment.